Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what will happen when we specify final modifier before a variable in Java? When you provide final modifier before a variable in Java, the value that is first initialized to that particular variable cannot be updated. That is going to be the final value of the variable. Okay, as the name final speaks, the value that is initially assigned to the variable cannot be updated anymore. So what literally happens when you are writing a Java program and creating a variable, and if you mention final modifier before that variable, then first you will get a compiler error saying you have to initialize the variable with some value. If you don't initialize, Java compiler will give you error for the variables which are specified with the final modifier. Okay, it's compulsory for us to initialize the variable with some value. That's first thing. And after that, after you initialize it, if you try to update the value that is initialized to that particular variable, then again Java compiler is going to give you the compiler error saying you cannot update the value of any final modifier specified variable. It's going to the final value. Okay. You have to either remove the final modifier before the variable, or you should stop your activity of updating the value of a final variable. Okay. That's what happens. Let me practically demonstrate this for you so that you will be able to understand the answer for this question in a better way. So fine, I'll go here and create a new class. I'll simply say final demo. Click on finish. And now here I'll create a method, guys. Public void some sample method I'll create just for the sake. Okay. So once I create a sample method here, before the method directly under the class, I'm going to create a variable. Let's say int a is a variable name. Okay. Int a is a variable. Have declared this variable. You see, I'm not getting any compiler error. Even though this particular variable is not initialized with any value so far, I'm not getting any error because it's not specified with any final modifier till now, right? The moment I provide final modifier before this variable, immediately Java compiler will give me an error saying you have to initialize this variable with some value. The blank final field may not have been initialized. Initialize final field, a declaration itself, wherever you have declared that variable, at the same line, you have to initialize. Okay, for now, as per the error message, you have to initialize. Okay, the simple thing is that when you mention final modifier before a variable, Java compiler will ask you to initialize this variable with some value. Let's say I initialize this variable with some value, let's say 10. According to the data type of the variable, I have given some value 10 because it's now you see the error is gone. All looks good. Okay. The final variable, final modified specified variable compulsory need to be initialized. That's the first thing. Java will take care of that thing first. Okay. The important thing that Java also takes care of is this value is final for this variable. The first initialized value of this particular variable is a final value. If you try to update the value in other areas of the program, if you try to change or update the value of this variable a from 10 to some, let's say 20, let's say, if I try to update the value of the variable a from 10 to 20, again, I'm getting a compiler error. The final field a cannot be assigned. You cannot update the value of the final variable. This is the final value. You cannot update it anymore. Okay, these are the things, guys, you have to take care. Okay, so what will happen when we specify the final modifier before a variable in Java? The value that is first initialized to that particular variable cannot be updated anymore. That's the main thing, guys. Okay, but when you write the program, okay, initially if you don't initialize the variable which is specified with final modifier, Java will give you a compiler error asking you to initialize the variable. Okay, if you initialize the variable with some value, proper value, the error will go off. And if you try to update the initialized value with some other value, in the rest of the program, then again Java will give you the compiler error saying that the value of the variable cannot be updated because it is a final variable. Final variable values, okay, once initialized cannot be updated. Okay, so with practical demonstration, I have answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.